I'm gonna go into this with a positive mental attitude. PMA, which is what I learned in high school when I played foosball. The coach said, make sure you approach everything with a PMA, a positive mental attitude. And so I did. And I got JV.
Hi, I'm Phil.
Hi, I'm Brett.
Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, Brett's gonna make some food for you. What are you making, Brett?
Shuizhu.
Shuizhu. What that is?
It's Chinese for boiled meats. So we're gonna do beef, which is traditional. You can also use fish. So we're gonna do both and make a beefy fishy mess. It should be good. And we're gonna do a side of a Sichuan smashed cucumber salad.
Hell yeah. Hey, Brett.
Huh.
Who you is?
I'm Brett, co-host of the PGC podcast, which you can find on
SoundCloud, Spotify, or the podcast provider of your choosing.
So yeah.
I'm excited for tonight because I don't have to cook. Thanks, Brett.
You're welcome.
Okay, Brett, take it away.
So for the beef, you want to use something that's like hot pot thin cut, or I think this one says bulgogi, which is fine.
Brett, stop. And don't point that knife at John. What that first step is.
Oh, I had a drink. It's over here. It is a drink of Dad's Hat, bottled in Bon Rye. Anyway.
Thank you for this information.
Son of a bitch. All right, moving on to the beef again. Thin slice. I'm actually quadrupling the recipe today, so it's a lot more than usual. And then we're also gonna use, did you get cod?
Yep, it's cod.
So we got cod, so just like a cheap whitefish. I'm actually gonna half this. It's a little bit easier. You just kind of half it, balump. All right, so that's all the beef. And I kind of want to make sure it's separated, but be careful when you're like separating it because obviously you can tear really easily, especially when it's fatty like this. We're gonna use a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. And then this wine that I'm supposed to have Phil pronounce.
Shaoxing.
That's correct. So cornstarch, probably for this amount, 2 big-ish. Salt, probably about that. So the broth that this is eventually gonna be cooking, it's gonna be quite salty because it's fermented too. So it's spicy, it's salty, so you don't have to add too much to your marinade. And then with the wine, that looks fun. And now I'm just gonna kind of mix this up until it looks like what I actually want it to look like. See how it like looks pinkish? I kind of want it all to look like that. That just tells me that everything's kind of coated like I want it to be. So just a little, tiny little bit more. All right, so for this, I'm gonna leave them in kind of bigger pieces, probably like a chunk like that for each kind of piece, just because I don't want it to break apart once we get to that part. All right, so same thing in this bowl. I'm gonna be a little bit more delicate, obviously, with this than I was with the beef. Or just drop it on the floor.
You could just rinse it off.
I am not doing that.
I mopped the floor literally a couple hours ago.
Oh, that.
I would have washed it off.
And then same thing.
What's going on in here?
Same thing here. I'm just gonna toss it. Just kind of want it so it's mildly kind of coated. Same thing. Like you don't want it in the cornstarch. You're not frying this at any point. You just want it lightly coated. So both those are good to go, and they should go back in the fridge while we do the rest.
I don't have room in my fridge for those bowls. I have.
Food safety is bullshit around here.
I have.
Put them on the sidewalk.
Yeah, put them out on the sidewalk. It's only 95 degrees.
I have 2 fridges and those can't fit in either.
Just stack them on top of each other.
A little layer in between. Little stack in action. Stack in action. That's not bad. That's not bad.
All right, so I'm gonna make the smashed cucumber salad, or at least get started on it. I got 3 cucumbers. Normally it's like 2 if they're a good size. These look a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna use these. And what we need to do with this is we'll need to kind of cut them up, peel them, and salt them. Then after some of the liquids out of it, we're gonna dress it up. What are you doing?
Are you gonna smash them?
I will smash them, yeah.
With a hammer?
Do you have a hammer?
Sounds like a
yes.
No, we're not actually going to, but...
Oh, well, Kevin's here. If you need help.
Kevin, would you like to brute force some cucumbers?
Yeah.
All right, so we have lovingly peeled our cucumbers, so I'm gonna half them lengthwise. And then, with assistance from Kevin, we are going to brute force smash them.
Kevin, do it.
All right. I've got
A little less than that.
I've calibrated the
A little harder than that.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. That was Take that.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Hey, Kevin, please work in smash that like button like you are those cucumbers.
You gotta smash the cucumbers like you smash the like button. Yeah!
I'd like to take this moment to remind, well, not remind, but maybe mention once again that for many PGC viewers, Kevin is the main character.
All in how you wield the hammer.
Next, just kind of cut it up in segments at the size like you'd want to actually eat. So it's like this. Bowl them. You can de-seed them if you want. I don't feel like it. All right, next step, we're going to salt. And we're really just salting for a little bit of flavor, but mostly get the excess water out. So that's a good amount. Stir that in, and then we're gonna set this aside, let it do its thing for like at least 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna drain off the water that comes out of it.
Oh yeah!
Kevin, what have you done?
I'm covered in cucumber.
How do you feel about what you've done?
Good.
What do you need, son?
Paper towel?
Alrighty, so I'm gonna need 12 cloves of garlic for this. And so do you know how to get a clove out of a head?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks Pat.
You're welcome.
Alright, so while garlic intern Pat takes care of that entire head of garlic for me, we're gonna do some green onions. We're basically just gonna be using the whites up to about like this section, but you can use the green for tops for garnish, but I really like the way these look. I'm gonna cut off just the root sides, about that size, kind of bite-sized pieces, up until we start getting to with the green, and I'm gonna chuck them in this bowl. This is gonna go in kind of all the same time. So the green onion, the garlic, and then there's gonna be ginger as well, and those will eventually all go in at the same time.
Where's Phil?
Where is Phil?
Oh, that smells good!
So I am peeling ginger. As you can see, I'm not using a spoon, because that's not what spoons are for. What are spoons for?
Spoons are for spooning.
Thank you. So I'm gonna make kind of like some ginger batons. All right, so we're gonna finish up the smashed cucumber salad. It's sat for 10-15 minutes, salted. I just drained off the water. This is like 3 or more cloves of garlic. That's going in. You need some soy sauce. It's like a teaspoonish or so. Sesame oil as well. A little bit lighter with this because sesame oil can be kind of strong. Some vinegar, because what would this be without vinegar? Rice vinegar. So about a tablespoon of rice vinegar. A little bit of sugar. Just a little. And then, very important, chili oil. And this is chili oil, not chili crisp. Yeah, it's to taste. We're having spicy food, let's not go too nuts there. We're gonna mix it all up. And then I'll try a piece to make sure we're good. Seasoning wise. Use a little more soy, just a little bit. And just a touch of salt. Just another shot. Good. So the point is supposed to be refreshing, kind of on the side when you're eating something spicy. So next up, we need to build the broth base, which is what we're basically boiling everything in. So to start off, we need oil, and you want to use a neutral oil, so this is just canola.
That's what you think. I've been refilling that thing for a while to the point that every time Courtney picks up that bottle, she's like, can you just throw this bottle out? And I said, yes, I will do that, but we haven't gone through it yet.
All right, so I put kind of enough oil to just kind of coat the bottom. And while it's still off, I like to do this part because we're gonna be doing some spices in it. And it's a little bit easier to control when it comes up to temperature so you don't burn anything. Normally you're using like 2 star anise pods, but again, we're quadrupling, so we want a good amount of star anise.
What's 2 times 8? I mean 4.
But you gave it away.
It's 8. That's the number. Big brain.
Next, these are dried Thai chili. I like these. I know there's some Chinese chilies you could buy instead. I like these just because they're a little bit small. And I don't find them too hot, even though it says extreme spicy. It's not extremely spicy. So here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Next, I'm going to add some Sichuan peppercorn. Red Sichuan peppercorn, not the green ones. And for this, I like it to be nummy. I don't normally measure this either, so we'll see what that gets us. And we want them kind of broken, but not like a fine powder. So kind of like that, it's good. I'm gonna add that to the oil. And so what we're gonna do now is turn on the gas. Hey, it worked. So basically what we're doing is we're seasoning the oil with our peppercorns, chilies.
That's a lot of flavor.
It is a lot of flavor.
Oh my God.
And so we want these to kind of get up and get kind of aromatic. You'll see on the chilies, when they start turning a darker red, that's what we want, and that's when we're gonna be adding the stuff that Pat so graciously helped us chop up with the garlic and stuff. So we're just stir this a little bit. You'll smell it. The star anise pods will also get darker. And once that happens, we can add the extra stuff. All right, so this has been, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. You can see the chilies are a little bit darker. You can kind of smell the spices on it. And so we're gonna add the chopped up ginger, the garlic that's thinly sliced, as well as the scallions. And we're not gonna cook them all the way through, just kind of get some color on it. So basically just soften those up. The next ingredients we're gonna be adding, I guess I can talk about while I'm stirring. This is stuff, and this woman, she really likes it. I don't know how to pronounce it in Chinese, so I'm not going to, but it's broad bean paste in a chili oil, fermented broad bean paste in chili oil. And then also, these are dochi, which are salted fermented black beans. So that's gonna add kind of like a funky umami kind of flavor to the broth as well. Most of your flavor and heat is actually gonna come from this paste.
Smells like pizza.
Tastes just like it too.
Are we making pizza?
Hey, Paisan!
Hey, hi guys. I'm back from the drink.
Hey, thanks for the garlic, Pat.
It wasn't enough.
All right, next up, I'm gonna be having, eventually it's gonna be 12 cups of water. And I'm gonna stir this a little bit so not all the oil is just on the top. 1, 2.
You okay?
I'm good. 3.
Oh, you got your hand. It's ruined. It'll never come out. We got the dry cleaner up the street.
For my hand?
Yes.
How many was that?
Like 8. And then with these, I like them a lot. Not everybody does, but go for that. And we're just gonna kind of stir this up until that paste kind of gets cooked in. And you'll see all like the chili oil is gonna come out of it. And then we're gonna add water, which seems weird that you're not gonna add stock, but trust me, this is like salty and flavorful as it is, so you don't want to add anything other than water at this point.
It can't handle any
Can't handle more flavor. We've already maxed out on all the flavors.
Honestly, I understand that. I get it.
Once you start to kind of smell it and you see the oils coming out of the paste, that's when we want to add water. 12 cups, starting with 4, and then obviously 2 more of those.
Smells good. Everything's going great. You found that measuring cup on your own?
It was a team
We
effort.
did it together.
It's incredible.
John helped me a lot. He's the best.
It's true, he is.
He's like a Pyrex Sherpa. John, you're the best. All right, so that is our broth, basically. As you can see, that's gonna be hot. And then we're gonna cover it and let it kind of do its thing for a while. So I wanna bring it up to a simmer and step on a dog. Once it's simmered, cover it. And then when it's covered, we're gonna chop up some bok choy. It'll go in partway through that. Then we'll cook the fish in it, then we'll cook the beef in it. There'll be a side of rice, which Phil is in charge of. I gotta make a little side thing as well. Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome.
So I got a bunch of baby bok choy. I like the baby bok choy because if you get the big one, you're gonna have to cut it in half, kind of chop it up. But you just cut this off, you're gonna get like little individual like chopstick worthy bites. So I have 2 big bags of this. That'll go in about 10 minutes deep on the simmer. So I'm gonna get to washing those.
All right, PGC people, if you think that Phil needs to install a urinal in his garage, smash that like button. Yeah.
I strongly agree. I would use it all the time.
All right, so it's been simmering for like 10-ish or so minutes. I'm gonna add baby bok choy that I cut up. We're just gonna add all of that. And that's just because we want this to kind of drop on the floor and then also kind of cook down a little bit in the broth before we add our meat. So 5-ish or so minutes, so it's most of the way cooked through. And then we'll poach our meats in the broth once this is cooked down a little bit. It's probably another 5 to 8 minutes. Oh, and then on the side here, that's more Sichuan peppercorns, more of the dried chilies, and an amount of oil. And then at the end, we're gonna heat this up, and then it kind of goes on top. So I've already kind of put that off to the side, so we have it for later. Then soon, Phil, my wonderful sous chef, will be making plain white rice. So stay tuned for that.
I'm making the rice in this pot. I mixed some water and some rice. We're gonna boil it and then turn down the heat. More updates to come.
So I'm gonna turn this up to like a high simmer / boil. I'm gonna do the fish first. Got this out of the fridge. I just kind of stir it up, just kind of redistribute everything a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of gently place the fish in it. It's a very exciting fish placement. And we'll just let those go till they're done. All right, so I'm gonna poach them just kind of till they're done, and then I'm gonna try to fish them back out, basically till they're opaque and flaky. Don't get too nuts, because obviously you're gonna be adding the hot broth back to them again once you have a bowl full. And we'll be back for beefy time.
How's it smelling here, Kevin?
Really, really good.
So here's our giant 3 pounds of beef. Again, this was all gooped up and good. I pulled all the fish, it's all in that thing over there. I just want to separate a little bit while putting it in the beef. You don't want like a big chunk. And then it's just gonna boil, obviously, literally away in the broth. Hey Pat, you look like you're useful. Would you stir this for me while I add beef?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so anyway, what I got here is an amount of oil. Again, a neutral, so vegetable, canola, whatever.
How many tablespoons?
Oh, no. And there's chilies in here and more ground up Sichuan peppercorns. So I want to get this heated through. This is actually gonna be our topper, but we don't want it so that the chilies start turning black. So it's really just about getting the oil nice and hot, slowly. While we're doing that, we can probably start working on plating though. With this, you'll see all the good beefiness is here. You want a little bit of the broth, but you want mostly just the good stuff that's inside. Some of Phil's magic rice.
I worked hard on it.
So let's get some rice for the side. Little side of our cucumber salad stuff. You can hear the sizzling because there's some water on the spoon. Point is to add this hot oil on the top as a special treat. Include some more of the Sichuan peppercorn. Phil, will you do the honors of tasting?
Okay, I gotta try it before Brett tries it, apparently.
That's right. Yeah?
Hell yeah, brother, that's delicious. Oh man, all of those like spices come through like really, really nicely, but the meat's like soft. Like it's not, it doesn't taste like boiled meat. That's stupendous. A little bok choy too. Wow, this legit tastes like something that any Chinese, which is our local super authentic Chinese place, would make. That is so good. I can't wait to eat this.
You are eating
As a meal. The cucumber is the best. The fish is just as good. That's actually awesome. That's really, really good. Like the flavor profile with like the Sichuan peppers and stuff, it just tastes like something straight from China. Like this tastes as authentic as I've ever had. I think Brett knows what he's doing. Damn, Brett. Brett, you're really good at cooking.
You're on the wrong show.
Wrong show, Brett.
Apparently, this is how you do it, because that's how you do it.
Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome.
Tune in next time for more pretty good cooking recipes. Yeah.